Okay. All right. Well, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay.
And try to sit up a little bit, so you don't sound so far back. But
No, it'd be dumb. You're dumb. Everyone's dumb.
Okay, what is up, everybody? Ace here, along with Mr. Shawstin and Mr. Mickson.
hello.
Hi.
And we are huddled around together to do a little podcast, I guess, to talk about the solar eclipse and maybe a little UHC if we don't talk about the eclipse too long, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
And huddled is right because we are literally huddled around a microphone.
yes, just the one here. So,
Campfire for warmth.
Yeah.
So, I guess the way we're going to do it is we're going to first talk about our trips out here.
Yeah.
And then talk about the event itself. I might splice in some pictures and stuff. And then, like, if we want to add in some UHC, we'll talk about that afterwards. So, since we're at Mickson's place...
Woo! That's me.
I guess you can... Did you do any special setup or anything?
I finally unpacked. I moved about 3 months ago, and apart from probably 3 days worth of clothing and towels, everything was still in the boxes I moved down in. They're right here. There was just a mound of boxes. You can only see about halfway up
to the right of us, yeah.
Yeah. So, but besides that, no. Then nothing special.
This is all kind of... I wouldn't say it was like impromptu, but we kind of just...
Yeah. It was planned, but it wasn't like... Yeah.
It's basically just...
it's hard to describe almost.
Yeah, it's kind of like just, we should do this, and we'll be there.
Yeah, it was like... We had the idea. Like, I guess you and Weather kind of had it first, right?
Yeah, because like I was saying, like, oh, I'll probably go out to Nashville to see the eclipse, and then Weather was said something, and then
Then you commented on one of my videos, and that's how I got one.
and then Weather dropped out.
Yeah, Weather dropped out. He couldn't. He said he had trouble finding a job and couldn't do it financially, and that's completely understandable.
Yeah.
We are all there. We have all been there. And so it's unfortunate. He did still get to see it though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's nice. That's nice.
I think all of the U.S. got to see at least partial eclipses.
Yeah. Except for Hawaii.
Yeah. Screw it. They
Sorry,
have
Randy.
beautiful sun
really
year
part of the
round.
US.
They don't need it.
But yeah.
So like nothing. So as far as planning goes, like nothing came up that was like, oh, this is an issue, or like, at least on my end, or that I know of about y'all. Like it was like, oh, we should do this. Like, yeah, we should. And then a lot of times when it comes to planning these kinds of things, there's a lot of moving parts, so to speak. So a lot of things can go wrong. And I guess there really wasn't that many moving parts. And the only thing that really went wrong is Weather wasn't able to make it. Like. Your drives went relatively well. I mean, they were saying like there's supposed to be hundreds of thousands of people coming down and stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of tourists in Nashville and stuff, but like my little county, like unimpacted pretty much.
I think what did it mostly was the fact that most of the U.S. was going to see some eclipse anyways. So
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people just were like, we'll just stay home.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, people who either they're going to travel a long distance, and it's like, well, we might as well go to a real city, or people who were who were short distance and were like, we'll just go to what's the face for the day and then go back.
Yeah. So, which honestly is good news for us. My county fair started today, and so that presented a little bit of traffic in itself. But besides that, it was smooth sailing. So
apparently the interstates have impact.
That is true. People are
for
going
everybody
home.
leaving at least.
Yeah. So luckily, y'all are leaving the day after the eclipse, Tuesday.
Yeah.
So hopefully you won't have anything too crazy.
Shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
I was actually looking to come out to Tennessee for the eclipse anyways. I was going to fly into Nashville and watch it there, and then stay with a friend over in Oak Ridge. And then Shawstin commented on one of my UHC videos. After I died, I left a little note about the eclipse thing. And he mentioned that they were going to do the meetup, so I offered to join in and decided to drive out instead because that would be cheaper. And it was a long drive. It was Massachusetts to Middle Tennessee. So I started right after work, which was kind of a long night because we had a table of 20 people show up in the last 20 minutes.
Oh, you hate that.
Yeah. In the end, we just kind of shut down and left the dishes from the morning. So, because the guy that was working with me was going to open tomorrow anyways.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I left from work and drove straight out. Made it through New England overnight. It was like halfway into Pennsylvania by the time the sun came up.
What time did you leave work? What would you say?
11:45.
Okay. So right at midnight, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dang.
So it was like about 7 a.m. by the time I got through half of Pennsylvania. And that's when I started feeling tired. And so I took it a lot slower. And I even took a little nap once I got into Ohio. And everything was actually pretty smooth sailing for me up until about Cincinnati. And I hit that right as rush hour was starting. So I got stuck there for a little bit. And then the rest of the drive was pretty uneventful. Little bits of slowdowns, but that's about it. I got here, about 9 p.m.?
Earlier than that, it seemed, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like closer to 8:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because time zone changed.
Yeah.
Time
it was probably around 8 our time, so. But 9 your time, so 19 hours.
Yeah.
19 hours, just straight. I mean, you said you stopped a couple times.
Yeah, that's what did it.
But still, good night.
I gotta do it all over again.
Yep.
Get home.
And then your drive, Shawstin.
Yeah, my drive was simple. Because I live in Arkansas, so it was like 6 hours at most.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of back road swiggling up to Memphis, and then just I-40.
40, yeah.
All the way.
Like half your drive is just like a straight shot. It's just boring.
Yeah, it's not as easy. It's not as straight of a shot as the trip from where I live to where my sister goes to college. Because like for that one, Highway 67 becomes the next highway you have to be.
Oh, okay.
And that one becomes the next highway.
Oh, wow.
And then that one takes it to the town, so you just drive straight the whole way.
Wow, that's cool.
But for this one, you get to Memphis, drive 40, and then you're in Nashville. And
Yeah.
The only thing of interest was that I almost ran out of gas on the way there. There's a notable stretch, apparently,
Yes.
on I-40 where there's no gas stations for like 20 miles in both directions of a town.
Yeah.
And so I got to the beginning of the zone. It was like, I can make it to the next station. And then about like 50 miles later, I was like, where is it?
Yeah.
I've done that before.
A little outside of Jackson, about 20 miles out of Jackson. Between that and Dixon, Tennessee, which is probably like 50, 60 miles, there's only like 1 or 2 towns. And that's like all they are, just gas stations, because people, exactly what you did, it just happens. So, yeah, it kind of sucks. Luckily, you didn't run out of gas, so that would really suck.
I had that issue on the way to Arkansas once,
Oh,
going to Texarkana. And
from Tennessee?
No, from Florida.
Oh, okay.
I took a scenic way up Louisiana and all, but there was a stretch where they were still building a section of interstate, so we had to take a back road. There's no gas stations along there, so I forget where I was, where I said I was going to be fine. I got to Texarkana almost out of gas. So.
That's awesome.
And then the drive to the airport when I flew out to Massachusetts last year, I was literally on fumes because I did that on half a tank of gas. So I just kicked the desk.
You're fine.
But I just see the spike.
Yeah, we're using Audacity, and you can see the way. It's actually mesmerizing to watch.
But yeah, we all got here safe and sound.
Yeah, and then I drove nothing. So I live here.
He drove us around town.
That's true. Yeah, so I guess we can. Well, before we go to Monday, the Eclipse Day, that evening. Yeah, it was fun. We played Super Fights. Yeah.
We did.
That ended in a 3-way tie.
Yeah.
Yes, so we were playing to 5 cards, and we all had 4. And then what we decided to do, was Ace's idea, is get for the last round, get our own, and then get my parents to judge. And it was pretty unanimous. And I think the 3 of us would agree with the outcome too. So. That was fun. And then, did we play another game after that?
We played
We
Hex.
played Hex.
Hex, yeah,
Hex
that's
was
right.
fun.
Hex was fun. That's a new game my brother got from Bargain Hunt and brought it over just for like a family night, and it was fun. It's a lot more fun with more people, but it was fun with the three of us. And basically, you have these hexes, these involuntary rules you have to abide by during the play of the game. It might be you have to talk in a high-pitched voice, or you have to address people a certain way, or say a certain thing, or do a compulsive action whenever you do a certain thing. And if you don't do it, someone could call you out, and you get another hex, another thing you have to do. And the first to a certain number loses, and whenever the game's over, the person with the least number of hexes wins. And you have defense cards, and you can negate them to other players and things like that. There is definitely a little bit of strategy, but it's a lot of luck and memory.
Yep.
On your own behalf to remember to do your own. But also, my biggest problem is remembering what other people have to call them out on it. So...
Yeah, I got away with doing the handshake one for a little while.
Yeah.
Until the very end.
Yeah.
I said I very many times.
Yeah, so Shawstin at one point could only refer to himself in the third person. And it's so involuntary. Like, it's unnatural to call yourself Shawstin. Well, I mean, I guess especially if you're not.
Yeah, not even my name.
That one's the hardest one. My sister had that one when we played it the first time, and that's what made her... I can't remember if she lost, but she got like 3 hexes off of just that one card. So that sucked. So that was fun. And then we just kind of hung out for a while, right?
We talked about a few things.
Yeah.
Various stuff.
We tried to play Jackbox.
That
didn't work out.
No. It was a myriad of issues.
Yeah, my old ass laptop and
my internet.
Yeah.
Which my internet kind of worked, but I feel like even if your laptop was at peak performance, it still would have caused this problem. So
yeah,
honestly, I would rather just see it kind of like crash and fail and be like, no, obviously we can't play this, versus like trying to kind of make it work.
Yeah.
So because that would have just been frustrating and kind of killed the fun. So.
At least, I guess I have it for whenever anybody plays it again.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah. I started to buy it and download it, but I was like, when am I ever going to be in a situation where I can actually use this? So I gave it to Days. So.
And then Eclipse Day.
Not
quite.
No?
Marge Mask.
Oh, yes.
The highlights. Screw the Eclipse.
Highlight of the entire thing.
Well, actually, was that after midnight? That might have been the 21st.
Yeah, it might have been.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah. So we, Super Flash, I don't remember, like a week or two ago, tweeted at Muck this picture in this article about these terrifying Simpsons-themed facial like beauty masks, and I love them. I went on Amazon, and apparently there were a very limited number made, and even in the article itself said these won't be around very long, and once these sell out, they're gone, kind of deal. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll buy the last one. So I bought 4, just on a whim, and then I tweeted at Muck and Super Flash and told them, and then I just put them in a drawer and kind of forgot about them, and then I mentioned it to Ace and Shawstin when they were here, and it was all just kind of a mutual, like, well, why not use them kind of deal. And it was terrifying. Yeah. They were, well, okay, so we opened it up, and the packaging itself was very loose English. Like, I'm pretty sure they're Korean, right? Yeah. And opened it up. It was very citrusy smelling and very cold and just mushy. It was very unpleasant. Like, actually putting it on my face, I didn't want to do it. It felt so wrong. But we got them on, and you had to punch out the mouth hole and the eye holes. And the eye holes are for the pupils. Yeah. And you punch the pupils out, but you still have this huge white saucer around your eye where her eyes are. Yeah. And then she's not proportionate, and so the mouth hole is like on her nose, right?
And it's like halfway between her nose and her mouth.
Yeah, and then your nose is like on the top of her. It's like translucent.
Yeah.
It's just not great.
And then Muck, we showed it to the guys on Discord, and Muck has since made a nice Photoshop of us.
Yep. So that was fun. So that was the highlight. That was really the highlight. And then I guess we went to bed, woke up the next day, got a bite to eat before the actual eclipse. Mm-hmm. That went well. It wasn't as crowded downtown as I thought, so that was good. Yep. Came back and was outside. We were outside for 2 hours probably?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And I set up my GoPro on the roof of my car, and we just kind of hung out and kept an eye on the sun as the moon started moving across it.
Yep.
And then kind of just lay down in the grass. And
yeah, about 20 minutes, probably, maybe a little less, until totality. I think it was, Shawstin had the idea. You just lay down, and we were all like, yeah, it's a good idea. And so we did that. And at one point, we were getting kind of close. It was like a fingernail clipping, basically.
Yeah.
And I noticed around the edge of my glasses that it was like, oh, this is kind of getting dark. So I stood up and took my glasses off, not looking at the sun. And it was, like, freaky. Like, I'm so glad I did that. I'm glad I didn't miss it. It was really neat. And so, at that point, I actually just kind of kept my glasses off. I didn't look at the sun anymore because I knew it was probably a few minutes out.
Yeah.
And just watched the sun. And it just, like... It was almost like a drain was draining water, and all of a sudden, like, all the light being the water just kind of got, like, sucked out and went down the drain, and it was just dark.
Yeah.
You know? And then there was this ring of light in the sky. You could see a few stars. You could see
Venus.
Mars. Yeah, Venus very well, which it was kind of nearest the sun, and then Mars was a little ways across the sky, but yeah. And something I didn't think about until after my parents got home was we've got morning glories all around our house, and they open up during the sunrise, and so they would have thought the sun was rising, so they would have opened up real quick after the sun did that, and then closed back up because once the sun gets so bright, they close back up. So that would have been cool, but it was I can't really describe the experience.
It was really neat, like. The whole darkening part is particularly interesting because we're always so used to having the sunset on the west side. Yeah. So to have it just go dark overhead is really
the sun
surreal.
Above at noon.
Yeah, and it was because especially, I mean, it's my house. Mm-hmm. Like I'm I guess arguably more cultured to it setting behind these trees over here, and then it just everything just felt off and wrong. But so good.
And I also finally realized why everyone stresses don't look at the sun, because normally you're just I don't look at the sun, it hurts.
Yeah.
But when it's barely not eclipse, you can look at the sun and it will not hurt your eyes, and you will take damage. Not take damage.
Yeah, it still blinds you. But
and now Shawstin is blind.
Yeah, sorry guys. This is the end of my YouTube career.
He's still driving home though.
Yeah, and then we stayed out for probably a few minutes after totality and watched the sun rise.
Yeah, that
was really neat because you could just kind of just tell it. I mean, it was just odd, the whole process.
Yeah,
it just felt weird, and it felt like as it was gradually getting darker across the couple hours when the eclipse started partially, it felt like the sky was like an abnormal shade of blue. Like it felt like it was just
everything
off.
Was weird.
Yeah, so
it was pretty neat just kind of seeing all the changes that were happening. Like it was definitely feeling a lot cooler as time went on.
Yeah, that's another thing. It probably dropped 10, 15 degrees.
Yeah, and even the clouds were dissipating as it got darker because we did have kind of partly cloudy skies and some clouds kind of looking like they were moving in, but then they just started dissipating because they didn't have the heat to stay clouds. So So that was pretty neat. And then pretty much after that, we kind of watched everyone else react to it on social media. Wasn't Chris near it?
Yeah, Chris saw it a little before we did, actually.
Yeah. And
and freaked out in Discord, like 20 times he said how great it was.
And my roommate's back in Massachusetts, were watching it from work and stuff. And I'm not sure how my family back in Florida reacted to it because they haven't really mentioned it themselves, but it got pretty close over there. So
yeah.
But pretty much all of the U.S. could see it in some form, and I think England could see it at sunset, and a bit of Russia could see it at sunrise. So
that's cool.
Like a very little bit of it.
That's cool.
But yeah, the next eclipses are 2024 and 2048 for the U.S.
Next eclipses in total, or normal, are 2019
in South America,
in Chile and Argentina. And 2020 in Chile and Argentina. They literally get 2 in a row.
Wow.
2, 1 year after another. Like that I'm jealous.
The one for 2045 is supposed to go down that South American, on the Atlantic coast, but it goes right over that coastline.
Wow, that's funny. So it was a great experience.
Yeah.
I'm hella lucky with it being in my backyard, but I'm glad y'all got to see it too.
Yeah.
And I'm glad all of America, like you said, got to see it to some capacity, even not peak totality or totality at all, but still. Oh man, it was. I don't know. I just can't get over it. It was such an experience. So I'm yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wish that my phone could take better pictures of it.
Yeah.
In the GoPro, because it was really neat seeing the totality moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, pictures don't really quite do it justice.
Yeah.
Like if you can get a really good camera, it's still just a picture though.
Yeah.
It doesn't get the feeling quite right.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it's that feeling, but I think that's true for most things, right? You can go to Budapest and you can see a picture of Budapest. You're like, wow, that's pretty, but
I've
being
seen pictures of the Taj Mahal, but going to the Taj Mahal might be a lot cooler than.
Yeah, I always wished cameras could take better pictures, the way that we see them with our own eyes.
Yeah,
there's a lot of the drive to work in Tennessee was always something I wanted to get a picture of, but I knew that no camera would be able to show it.
And the people were like, justice. Yeah, so what? People would be so unimpressed. So it's almost not worth taking the pictures,
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, now we grabbed some food.
With and Publix.
Got my Publix fix. And now we're just chilling.
Yep.
Probably going to do some more stuff
games
later.
And stuff, yeah. We'll figure it out.
And then Shawstin and I got to make our trip home tomorrow.
Okay.
So I will arrive home in the wee hours of the next morning and hopefully get some sleep in before work. So
yeah. That'll be good.
Yep.
And then you and I, Shawstin, we start school this upcoming week. You got to move in this week.
Yeah, I'm moving on Wednesday and classes start on Thursday.
Yep.
Nice.
So
we will be busy.
Yeah, everyone. Get back to being adults, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Losing this childlike sense of wonder. So, you mentioned UHC?
Yeah, season 14 came to a close.
Like a month ago.
Woo!
The last episode was a week or two ago or something?
Was it? I don't know.
Something like that. But yeah, so first of all, congratulations to Killer and Zalfa for winning this season. This is Zalfa won in his debut, and Killer won 2 out of the last 3. So he's putting on a dominant performance over there.
That puts him at tying for most wins now, right?
He is, yes. Because that's season 4, 12, and 14 that he's won. And I forget who he's tied with. I think it's Hollywood. Oh yeah, Boo. Yeah,
Boo won 5, 7, and 8, right?
5, 6,
6, and 8.
Yeah.
Wow, Boo, really? That's funny.
So, and he's also 1 kill away from tying for most kills with 8.
Well, he is the by just killer, so it's a matter of time.
Yeah, and we're only halfway through these 10 seasons.
Yeah.
So he's bound to do it.
Which makes me sad. I've only been in 2.
Yeah.
But
so, I guess Shawstin and I can take it episode by episode. I showed Mickson the UHC battles, so he knows about the fight stuff. So if he wants to throw in his input on any of those at any point, he can.
I will.
I guess I can go first because I had a short season, but I was teamed up with Aces, so we had our dream team of Ace and Aces' Aces. And we actually had a really good start. We started right next to a village. We ended up finding diamonds by the 3rd episode, and we were enchanted by the 4th episode. So we were ready to go pretty quickly. And I think the beginning of the end for us was the decision to check out the Nether, because we went in, decided it was not a good idea, and left, and ended up in Canuck and Lemon's old cave.
Wah, wah.
And So we decided to explore it a little bit, and I made a couple little mistakes that came together to form a creeper blowing up on me. And I died 4 episodes in. And I'm kind of little peeved at the latency with shields now.
Yeah.
But besides that, it would have been a pretty good season for us. It was for Aces. In the end, he ended up getting 2nd place, so that's good. And he got 2 kills, which is tied for most. So, good job for Mr. Aces. And I just hope I don't die again like that next season.
Yeah. He lost to Shawstin.
Shawstin ran away. But, yeah, so... What's he doing? He just left. He's going home now. But, no, it was a season that could have been really good, and if, had I not died, it would have been interesting to see how the ending would have played out. And
yeah, I hate I couldn't make it. I was busy. Like, I know I don't have internet now, but I mean, I've got friends and stuff. I can use the internet for a day. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
I was out of state, you know. The absence of Shawstin, of course, we're, I guess, in the planning process of 15, which will be Halloween time-ish.
Yes, the October month.
Yes. So
it would be neat to do something kind of spooky for that.
Mm-hmm.
I would encourage costume skins.
Yes, I have a few in mind.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I don't really have any ideas yet for myself, but I'm sure I'll think of something.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I got a couple ideas in mind. I would like to do random teams, because we haven't done that in a while. And...
Probably smaller, probably 3.
Yeah. Especially considering how few people showed up this season. There was only 13. Would have been 14 if Muck wasn't doing whatever he was doing.
Drunk Muck.
Yeah.
Jeez, Muck, sober up, man. Come on. But no, that'll be exciting. And then we've talked about the quote-unquote gimmicks of it. Maximum Dungeons, maybe?
Yeah, I tried Max Dungeons just by myself. And it's definitely not a difficult change, or like in terms of actual difficulty for the caving stuff.
Yeah.
But
in dungeons, they're always a balance of risk versus reward, because like pretty much every dungeon, I mean, one, you got the chest, but two, like the spawner itself, like that's some good stuff. Like bone meal, it's great to have bone meal,
Infinite
and then of course
arrows.
And arrows, and then string from spiders,
and
like
then
that's
levels for enchanting. So people could be really, really well enchanted for that season.
Yeah. So that would be. I mean, I think that would be interesting. Just one season, you know, it'd be a lot of fun. I, for a couple of seasons, have been a very strong proponent of the spectral effects applying after X number of episodes. I think that would make it a lot more exciting. Not that this happens a lot, and not that I'm really bothered by it, but it would prevent most likely kind of the last battle, people like running off or holding back and doing stuff like that. I mean, it's when you get close to somebody, it's going to be a lot harder to get away. Yeah. You can't just throw out some dirt or andesite and then sneak off. I mean, they know. They can find you. I mean, you can slow them down, you can lava bucket, whatever. But then that's another reason I like it, because it adds several other things that you need to consider and strategize about to play. And that's what I always really like about the gimmicks. You know, like, for example, like a dragon season, like the last year's October, the season 11, like my team, although we didn't get very far at all, Canucks stressed the importance of getting snowballs like right out of the gate. We started next to a taiga, so it was like get snow while we can.
And Nether becomes a really big deal.
Yes, Nether is a huge deal. So like in other seasons, many people, they choose not to go to the Nether, or like don't really give it much consideration.
Yeah,
you know, risk versus reward. So that's why the gimmicks make it interesting.
Two funny things about this season 11 was that despite the Nether being such a big deal, only one team actually did it. Yeah. Well, Mary went in near the end, but like The red team was the only one that actually went to the Nether and got everything. So if they didn't do that, then we would be at a stalemate.
The gold team wouldn't have been,
yeah.
where they were. And that's kind of the running joke is that not everybody has to go to the Nether. Just one team does, you know? So, or I guess go to the Nether and make it back. So...
and another funny thing about it, because one thing that Spectral could do is definitely help shorten the season too, not draw it out. But the funny thought behind that was season 11 was kind of long, so that's when we brought in the moving world border.
Yeah.
And the first season that we did that was the longest season that we've ever had.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's also the most exciting season though for so far.
I remember, what season was Solos? Was that 13?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I enjoyed that. I almost got squished by that border. That was fun.
Yeah.
So I love moving world border.
Yeah, that's actually something that was kind of an issue for this season. Not only was there not many people that showed up, but there seemed to have been like a general... like
apathy,
yeah,
like apathetic nature.
Everybody was too big about it, and when Chris set it up, he just kind of set up the server instead of the mode. So the border was there, but it didn't move, and we didn't have our episode timers. So
which that's always a hindrance, and that makes it less of a hindrance day of, because you're just like, okay, fine, if that ever happens, I just record it all in one. I don't worry about cutting it on the fly, and I'll just do it in post. But
we ended up basing it off of Shawstin and Cookie timing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Except for Mary, who did his own timer and ended up with 10-minute episodes.
Yeah. Mary. What's that Australian UHC time?
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking about the little issues with the season, with the world border and stuff. When the world border not moving and the not having a timer and stuff.
I blame Lemons.
Yeah.
That's fair as well. He is
New Zealand time.
New Zealand time.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know what timers are.
But we ended up making it work. The world border not moving we were already pretty much near the middle.
Yeah, there were still a few people in the season that it was pretty quickly that we got to the point where we were like, yeah, we should start heading toward the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, Sayola was on Mary's team, so Mary couldn't hide in the hole too long.
Yeah.
Let's just get him. Let's go.
So,
every time I just hear Sayolo just say, it just makes me laugh. I don't know. I'm not laughing at him. It's a laughing with him thing. But he's always just so, unnecessarily, aggressive and passionate about very benign things. It entertains me so much.
So, Shawstin, how did your season go?
My season went pretty good.
Yeah.
It started off pretty well. So I mentioned this in the UHC video that I did myself, but I kind of ruined the one chance I had left to do the thing I always wanted to do, where I would not open my inventory for as long as possible, so that I would get the taking inventory achievement episode 5.
Can you craft tools without getting that achievement?
If someone else crafts a crafting table first.
That's right. Yeah.
So the goal is to have your teammate craft a craft table, then you craft 9 in that crafting table, and keep them on your hotbar at all time. And so if you ever need to do anything in your inventory, you just place it on a crafting table, mess around.
Yeah.
And if you want to put armor, right click. The only reason you can't beat the entire season or die the entire season is you have to take off your armor to get. You have to open your inventory, take off your armor, and get new armor or enchant it.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, but But anyway, I messed that up. I opened my inventory in episode 1 again, and
so you just have to not wear armor until you get an enchanting table. That's a new myriad of difficulty you got there.
But yeah, assuming that we do the latest update, it's going to be because they do advancements now, so it's all different.
There's no taking inventory advancement.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Which I played a little bit of 1.12, but I know very little about it, so I'll have to brush up before we do any kind of UHC in the future.
I think the main thing is just the overhaul of the achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah, achievements, concrete.
Yeah.
Gotta be sure my concrete doesn't get wet.
That's
I
it.
don't
Those are pretty much the main things. And color changes. That's about it.
Yeah, and then from then on, Cookie and I, we found diamonds by chance, just digging down. And then we found
Chance, not strip mining.
This is effective. But I was just like digging down, like I hope we find something shiny and blue, and instantly, instantly diamonds.
That's kind of how we found diamonds too. I was like, I'm gonna start digging around for diamonds, and I dug 2 blocks in the side of a ravine, and there they were.
Yeah.
And then we found some more diamonds in a ravine, and we didn't do anything. We made a crafting table or an enchanting table. We made a crafting table, so you make the enchanting table. But we didn't have lapis, and we couldn't find lapis until episode 7.
Wow, that's a hindrance.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't win the FIU this season, just because I didn't have enchants.
Yeah,
Aces did.
Yeah. So we talked about while you're gone as well. Things we'd like to see. In 15, we mentioned spectral maximum dungeons. Is there anything you personally would like to see in a UHC season or in season 15?
Maximum dungeons is definitely one, especially for the spooky, scary skeletons.
Yeah.
Of Halloween. That would be cool.
Just Mesa.
Just Mesa. Large biomes. Mesa.
A large biome season actually might be fun, or it would be more boring.
Or small biomes one.
Yeah, tiny biomes.
You'd have like a if you had extreme hills and 0-0, there'd be one mountain.
Yeah,
that would.
It's basically impossible. Like somebody just putting up a wall,
Yeah. So as long as like there wasn't like small biomes, as long as there wasn't extreme hills at 0-0, it'd be great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can just pick your seed,
Yeah.
Kind of fiddle around with it.
Yeah, just take a Google Lens, make sure it's not ocean everywhere. So. But yeah, other than that, I can't think of much fancy UHC things I would want to do.
Yeah.
We talked about bringing golden heads back. I think it's kind of a creepy thing because you gotta use somebody's head to make an apple. And they're stronger apples too, so they heal more.
I'm so sorry, Cookie.
Yeah.
He probably would be the most delicious head, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We haven't had that since season 6.
So like most of the people playing probably would have never done it. Like
much.
none of the new guys, none of us.
Yeah.
And then
it's really just you, Naxer, Mary, Canuck, Muck,
lemons,
and
fruit,
yeah.
So half.
Fruit. One time, Fruit in season 7, Fruit killed Quiznam, who was his teammate, expecting to get a golden head out of it, but we didn't have it on that time.
Oh man.
Speaking of good old times, remember you remember we were kind of giving Saolo a hard time because he doesn't know what flower power is, nerfing flowers and stuff.
So I don't know about that, honestly. I just play along.
I actually found the original post where that was where that became a thing, and that was for season 2.
Okay, good. I thought it was some joke I missed.
There was a Reddit post talking about season 2, setting it up, and it said, for Quiznam's sake, flowers are nerfed.
So, why is it for Quiz's sake?
I don't know. I guess something in season 1 or whatever. But I keep hitting the desk.
I wonder if it was like a topical joke about the server at the time or something.
Maybe it was like an actual thing for other UHCs, like the pickup games or something.
I don't know, man. Does he still not know? Does he still get ragey about that?
I feel like we might have explained it to him at some point, but like I think at the end of the season he was like, "Okay, hold on, but what are flowers?"
I don't think anyone's actually told him. So this is the first time that it's actually been talked about. Besides,
he doesn't have the attention span to watch a 40-minute video.
That's
so.
true.
I mean, we always mention it in the intro. Has he missed every intro?
Yeah, I guess so.
But you actually got to episode 7 and didn't finish your season when you were talking about it. You stopped at episode 7.
We also couldn't get bows. We couldn't get.
Yeah.
None of us got a bow until episode 5, and that was only Cookie.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time we got enchants, everyone was getting towards 0-0, and we headed up to the surface, and lo and behold, Naxer was right across the river, which made for a nice cleanup because, he had 4 hearts, and
yeah, he just got out of a fight with Aces.
Yeah, and then he had pretty much the loot from Flux and him.
Mm-hmm.
So that was great. Now we both had power 3 bows and protection 2 everything.
Yeah. Didn't you have power 3? Yeah.
Yeah.
So during all that, for everyone else was like, I think Zalpha died first. Was it Fruit that died second? Or
no, fruit. Yeah,
I know fruit, Canuck, and lemons died, but
it was Zalfa, then lemons, then Canuck, or Canuck, then lemons, and then fruit.
then fruit, and then Muck was ready to play, and it was too late, so he couldn't join. Then me, and that was all the PvE stuff.
And then Flux, and then Nixer, and then Mary, Cookie, Sayolo, me. Aces.
Yeah, that big fight was pretty good there. Yeah, Mary and Cielo went up to the house, like, just after you guys kind of checked it out.
Cookie said he saw someone, but we never saw him again.
Yeah.
Just for a split second.
Let's see, when you made your way to 0-0, you and Aces had a close call moment. Turns out he was watching you guys the whole time, and he actually went to charge the two, and Aces ran across
places.
Yeah. Aces went across the middle of the lake, and Shawstin and Cookie went around the edge and just missed each other.
Never even saw him.
So, I even checked like both of your guys' footage to see if I could see him, and no, you guys looked away at the right time, I guess. But yeah, the big fight, and shortly after you survived, was Killer shows up with his.
Killer peeks up over the hill with 25 wolves.
Yeah, and then Aces shows up on the other side, and final battle commences. And, yeah, Aces picked you off, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it was pretty much low health Aces versus full health Killer. And,
he held his ground pretty well.
Yeah, he did pretty good. And there was the wolf sacrifice to help him escape. Where his Killer got close enough to where Aces' wolf went after, and then there's the big wolf melee. And Aces tried to escape by boat, and we were trying to get him back to the bases, and he got sniped. A really good snipe by Killer to finish off the season.
Yeah, that lucky shot. Holy cow.
Yeah. So yeah, I think overall it was a pretty good season. Like,
yeah.
It kind of felt like a standard UHC, like it hit its marks, pretty much. But yeah, considering what it could have been compared to what it is, it ended up pretty good.
Yeah,
so.
A 13-player season has potential to be pretty disappointing.
Yeah, but we made the best out of it.
Yeah.
So.
Still a shame we didn't get to do the Find Your Team thing.
Yeah. Maybe another time.
Maybe someday.
I don't have the leaderboard on me right now, but I know that who is it? Nixer's still in the lead. Is it?
I'm third.
Yeah,
it's true. I can vouch for him.
Killer, despite winning, he actually only climbed one spot, and that's just because he got the one kill.
Yeah, he got one kill, and
yeah, he's just cleaning up after everyone else's leftovers. Just conveniently strolls in right as everyone killed each other. Good job,
Everyone
Killer.
Else is dead. Time to move in.
You're not impressing anyone. We're on to you.
Aces actually climbed the most because he got most kills, and he finished second both as a player and a team.
And first kill.
Yep, and first kill. Dennis got Iron Man, even though he died first.
One of these days.
Funny.
One of these days.
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's one of those quirky facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember season 7 of Mindcrack UHC, Beef was Iron Man, and he was the first actual death.
Wow.
In like episode 5, I think.
Because Muck didn't play, he filled the most positions. I know that much.
Yeah.
I've been in 9th place for 3 seasons in a row. So, Dennis just cracked the top 10.
Nice, good for him.
So,
He deserves it.
Mary's like 8th, I think. I can catch him if I have a really good season.
Yeah, Mary's right below me.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm in 7th. So.
Zalfa debuted, I think, like 29th. So.
We need another pick your partner season, but you need to pick a partner that if you both won would help you increase your ranking the most.
Yeah.
You know? Like, don't pick someone above you because, like, if you do really well, they'll do really well as well, so you won't rise as much.
I mean, you could just pick someone who's, like, really high up there, so, like, when you weren't going to catch them anytime soon anyway, so...
Yeah.
It's actually interesting looking at the leaderboard. You can see the groups of people separated on there. Like, the top 5 is, like, your best people, and then the top 10 are, like, the pretty good people.
And then me, I'm down
and you get
17th or something.
Yeah, and then you get the people who show up, and then the people who sometimes show up, and then you get the people who
showed up once.
Were featured.
Yeah.
So
I've been in 2.
I guess 2 things we can kind of talk about. For one thing, no. I'm just going to mention it briefly for one last time because I've been going on about it since it happened. But after I died, I stayed in Ace's call and kind of ghosted my way to help. I really didn't like the fact that I died so early and really wanted us to do well. So, and nothing I did was too blatant, I don't think, except for maybe one part. But I definitely kept nudging him in the right direction, so we're definitely stressing the go to dead call after you die thing for next season.
Yeah, which is unfortunate from a content perspective, but it's I definitely understand it from like a gamemanship perspective. Yeah. So,
and it's just like the excitement of the UHC and wanting your team to do good and all that.
Yeah. So, but and hey, depending on when you die, there could be a whole party in there, and it could be way more entertaining for you to join me and all the others.
I think the most you should do when you die is try to, if you know where you died, just kind of give them an idea of where you were, and then that's it.
We should allow it, but you have to talk in riddles.
Where the green beast lay, walking toward the ocean.
No, it exploded. You're dead. Sorry.
Another thing, this wasn't really a big talking point, but how shields are kind of affecting combat. Yeah. If it's a good or bad thing, should we do something about it? Kind of stuff.
I mean, there's nothing vanilla we can really do. Is there?
I think it's possible to like turn off.
Could.
Or like to change the attack cooldown for things.
I think it's more of the shield itself.
And then we just decide not to use shields, and that would essentially be 1.8 combat. But I mean,
a retro season would be cool though.
Yeah, a retro season at some point would be cool.
That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Like maybe no absorption. I don't know.
I'm not saying. I say we do that for 16.
Maybe
do like a Halloween one, but. Oh man, and we can have like a retro themed intro. Oh man,
retro skins.
Oh yeah, our first skins. Yeah. Oh, mine's terrible.
Oh, mine's mine. I don't know if you guys know. I didn't get Minecraft until like 1.6.
Yeah.
So, but I was already.
I was in beta, so.
I was 1.5, I think. So not too much.
1.6 release.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, me too.
Okay.
Me too. Yeah, I was released.
But yeah, the way shields kind of, like, usually how combat goes nowadays is whoever can get the jump gets, like, the first 1 or 2 hits in, and then the shield goes up, and all future arrows are now, like, ineffective. So then you gotta kind of force yourself to move in, and then you do the awkward slice shield.
Yeah.
And yeah,
that's why axes are the best. No one should use axes but me. But I love them so much.
Like I'm always prepared to do other strategies, but it never quite works out. Like in our fight in season 13, I was trying to flint and steel you, couldn't get. I kept hitting tall grass. I pulled out my axe, but you were too far at the time. I was like, no, I don't want him to see me. He'll know.
Yeah, I tried to get out my bow, and I'd probably do short shots, but you're like right in front of me by then.
Yeah. And then for the fight with Ace, it's just this season, I didn't have my axe on my helper, I had a shovel.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost my water, so I couldn't even, because I used the water to stop the wolves, so I couldn't use it to, like, block us from each other.
Yeah.
So then I had to go in, and that wasn't going to work.
That's the thing about alternative strategies is that when they work, it's like the best feeling and it's so impressive. Yeah. But it's so out of habit. Yeah, it's so out of habit. It's just, it's very difficult to pull off. It's honestly a lot of luck and ping than anything. So.
Yeah, when I think about the shield fighting, I think of like the NID UHC Nixer and I did, because we did the one fight out in the field where it was just two of us standing out in the open with our shields up, and it wasn't until Nixer and I realized how low on health the other team was that we actually moved in. But it was still kind of this awkward, like, standing there with your shield waiting for the other guy to do something.
Yeah.
So I think one idea I had, if we were going to limit shields at all, would be like to only have them for caving, and you can't use them for combat or something like that. Like if you're gonna go to 0-0, you just kind of take it off your bar or something.
But even then, like I disagree. I think all the way around. I mean, because the issues we're having with shields is mostly with mobs, isn't it? Like your example.
Well,
the latency.
Yes, that's just a
unfortunate side effect, I guess.
Yeah. But
I like the complication of shields in combat with PvP.
Yeah.
Because it adds another layer of planning and dynamic that pre-combat update didn't
well
have.
Into things.
Yeah. So, but
a no shield while caving though, like 1.9 skellies are the worst.
Yeah.
Without a shield.
Yeah, that's a good point. That would be the highest PvE death season ever. If
like
we
people
ever did
complained about like the skelly change back in like 1 point whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we're like, oh, dinner bone.
Yeah.
But that's nothing.
No.
Compared to the strafing, no spam click skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still shoot each other though, a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, it's a good feeling when they do that.
Yeah. So does that conclude it? Really?
I think so. We pretty much touched base on everything.
Yeah.
Season 15 will be in October. I'll start setting things up in September.
Which is in a few days, which is nuts to think about.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's
I'll probably do it like mid-September, like second week or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Less than a month.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's the thing I love about UHC. Is like you plan it, you start planning it, and then you record it, and then it's a couple weeks, and then it's released, and then it's a couple weeks till it's over, and then like in a couple weeks you start planning again. Yeah. You know, like I love it. It's like always UHC all the time.
And it's just far enough apart where you can actually not get like burnt out.
Yeah, I'm super passionate, but then again I play every other one, so
yeah,
you know,
only
the odds for me.
I've done 12 out of 15. If I do this season, it'll be 12 out of 15. I've missed 3 of them. But yeah, I believe that is everything we want to discuss. So, we will be doing a few more things tonight, and then heading home tomorrow. And so
that'll be it.
That'll be it.
So
yeah,
it's kind of sad. I mean, it's been great, but it's kind of sad, you know.
Yeah.
So,
well. So, hope you guys enjoyed watching, or I guess listening to this. And,
remember, do not let Mickson buy you sushi.
Alright. We shall see you guys later. Bye.
No context.